Now, depending on who you are and what background you're from, this episode might offend you. This episode might shock you. I truly have no idea. I thought that this might be something that we have kind of established by now, but I guess we haven't. Now, from the title of this video, you might be confused. How can giraffes be controversial? Well, we'll get into that. Basically, giraffes have always been, since I was a kid, one of my, if not my favorite animal. I like the color, the look. They're cute. Herbivore. I don't have to worry about them killing other things, even though they do trample and, fight each other to the death. But for kids, they're a good kid animal. You can watch a documentary about giraffes and you can have a fun, lighthearted experience. You're not gonna see very many things getting disemboweled or eaten alive. And the reason I say giraffes are controversial is because giraffes might be, and I say this literally, giraffes might be the best example of evolution ever. Out of all of the species, all the beautiful, amazing, diverse species on our planet, giraffes might be the best example of evolution. Now, what is evolution? Well, if I have to explain this to you, you should probably go back to school. Or you went to like a Catholic or a religious school. Because depending on what kind of schools you go to, they don't teach this. Which is kind of weird. But like I said, that's why this entire concept can be considered controversial. Basically, evolution is the theory. Evolution is the theory that things evolve over time, hence the name evolution, to better adapt their surroundings, their environment, in order to perpetuate the species. So it is believed that, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of years ago, I don't know, whenever giraffes first came to be, they were just regular horses or zebras or like some kind of ancestor like that. But the food around them, the best food, the food that they had the best chance of surviving on, was high up above in the trees. So, over the course of hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of years, their necks grew longer and longer and longer in order to reach the most prime food source. Now, the reason I say it's controversial is because I think it's called like creationism versus evolution. Evolution is, of course, what I just said. Creationism Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry. I know Jesus Christ is unrelated to this, but it's like, I think it's like the Garden of Eden. All the animals, Adam and Eve, just dropped in like Fortnite, like a battle royale, and that's it. God just said, hey, let there be light, let there be giraffes, let there be humans, let there be pigs, chicken and the egg, the whole thing. But it kind of leaves out like major things, like the dinosaurs. Like, what was the deal with that? I never even like considered that. Like, what was the deal with that? Did God like have dinosaurs in like a separate park from Eden, or was that like included? Who knows? But giraffes, I'm going to confidently say that evolution is real because we have like evidence for that. Garden of Eden, though, sorry, folks. Like I said, I'm religious, but like we don't have any proof for Garden of Eden. So sorry about that. Giraffes are the living proof. That's it. They're the living proof. And there's so many other examples, but giraffes are my favorite because not only is it my favorite animal, but it's just like the most distinct. Not very many animals look like giraffes. You have like horses and zebras, but they're significantly different, significantly shorter. than giraffes. Giraffes are very, very special, very, very special animals. And that's what makes them so great, so unique. And that's why they deserve their own episode of the Daily Rants show. So shout out to giraffes. If you know a giraffe, or if you have a giraffe that lives near you, thank them for their existence and maybe ask them to teach you about, how it was like, the struggles of being a short king. They knew what it was like, but they chose to do something about it rather than just sitting at home complaining about it. They decided to get better, get taller. So think on that. I appreciate you listening to this, and I will see you tomorrow.